From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Ants Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Well, definitely look at those sunny skies out there, and we're starting to see some clouds that will eventually start to develop here, especially off in the northern and eastern mountains as that monsoon moisture begins to work its way in. Now, the cooling trend will continue. We're noticing the cooling trend today. It's going to peak tomorrow, but then we'll be talking about the potential for thunderstorms probably by tomorrow. I was thinking maybe as early as today. Those chances are not looking all that great for today, which is good. But by tomorrow, Friday, even into Saturday, we could be talking about the potential for thunderstorms. And we're going to get into that in a lot more detail here in a second. But then it's warming up toward the end of the week, and not to mention this weekend. So here's what it looks like for the rest of the day today. Mainly sunny skies, temperatures in the low to mid 90s, depending on where you are in the valley. And for the mountains, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. I think we'll see some clouds developing, but I don't think we're going to see any thunderstorms. And there just may be a stray shower today for some of us in the mountains, but otherwise mainly in the 80s for the higher elevations today. So a couple of key things that we need to look at. Number one, the monsoon moisture that we have this time of the year. That's normal. Sometimes we can get in just that perfect flow where we get some of that monsoon moisture over Northern California. And that's going to happen over the next 24 hours. Now, there are a couple of things that help to kind of squeeze out that moisture. Some of it is what we call convection, the daytime heating, and then it squeezes out that moisture in the form of showers, even some thunderstorms. But what will help to induce that is this activity right here. This is some instability, if you will, and this is going to start to move eastward. As it does that, that will also help to develop some of these showers and thunderstorms we'll see in the forecast. So for today, the fire potential is low risk. All the areas in yellow. That's good. But notice what's happening for Thursday. Where we see the best potential for thunderstorms is right here. That fire potential has now those areas in that moderate risk. And if you notice on the map at the very upper right, we've got some red in there indicating the potential for dry lightning. Quite honestly, I think we should see some of that here, especially by Friday and Saturday with that potential for dry lightning. And we'll get into that here in just a second as well. Here's your severe weather outlook. Basically, the areas of green is where you have the best chance for thunderstorms. You'll notice nothing over Northern California. As I mentioned, maybe a stray shower or two for some of us in the eastern mountains, but that's it. Now we take you to tomorrow. Notice we're seeing better chances for thunderstorms developing in this area right here. This is also the area where we could be looking at the potential for dry thunderstorms. So how is it that you have a thunderstorm with heavy rainfall and it's dry? Well, these are what we call high base thunderstorms. So here's the ground, right? And then here's the base of the thunderstorm. The base of that thunderstorm is where the rain comes down. If you have those thunderstorms up really high, a lot of times it's super dry down here. So by the time that rain falls from the clouds, many times it either evaporates entirely or we just don't get much rain out of it. So it starts off heavy at the base of the storm, but as it moves into the drier air at the surface, it begins to dissipate and dry out. And that's where we get those dry thunderstorms, and dry lightning is typically a concern. Now, sometimes, even if you have heavy rain over one area, sometimes maybe away from where the thunderstorm is and where it's not raining, you can get lightning strikes as well. So that's what we kind of mean by those dry thunderstorms in the forecast here for tomorrow. Now, as we go into Friday, you'll notice that area expands a little bit more westward. I don't think we're going to see anything in the valley, but I think northern Trinity County, Siskiyou County, and of course the eastern mountains all seeing that potential for thunderstorms. Now, here are the fire weather alerts. Nothing for Northern California just yet, but that could change later today or tomorrow. But as you can see, it's mainly in southeastern Oregon where we have that fire weather watch. And again, because of the better potential for thunderstorms up there. All right, so let's walk you through the timing. Today is what it looks like. Nothing, right? Maybe a stray shower here or there, but you can see the bulk of the activity is off to our north and east. Now we take you into Thursday. Now I think Futurecast may be underdoing it here for this area right here. I think we could see thunderstorms here for Modoc, Laston, eastern Plumas County, not to mention Siskiyou County, and maybe even northern portions of Trinity County as well. On Friday, I think it's doing a better painting of the picture here of the isolated thunderstorms here. This is where we could be looking at gusty winds associated with those thunderstorms, maybe brief periods of heavy rainfall, but as I mentioned, some of those could be dry as well. And then it kind of starts to dissipate as you head westward. But I think Siskiyou County, even northern Trinity County, could see some activity on Friday. Now, the long range is showing that even on Saturday, we're seeing some activity here. But by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week, we are seeing the potential for thunderstorms pretty much moving out. So really the best chances for thunderstorms in the mountains, as I just kind of pointed out here, will be tomorrow, Friday, and then again on Saturday, and then the chances diminish by the second half of the weekend into next week. All right, real quickly, let's talk about those temperatures because as you can see, they are continuing to drop here. By tomorrow's the peak of the cooling trend. Temperatures increasing. We may be looking at heat advisories for the valley and the surrounding foothills for Saturday, Sunday, Monday before temperatures start to drop again going into next week. So it's not going to be a very long heat wave, but it is going to get rather hot. And in fact, I'm even seeing 107, maybe even 108 for some of the warmest spots, especially by the second half of the weekend. Here's what it looks like today, though. Not the triple digits, low to mid 90s in the valley, and in the 80s, even some 90s for the higher elevations. All right, let's take a look at that 7-day outlook. So, got a better idea. And remember the last few days, I was talking about how, maybe the timing and intensity of these storms are going to change. And that's what happens, because as we get closer to these events, we get a better idea as to what to expect. So, as I mentioned, today I think we're okay. Maybe a stray shower here and there. But it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday for everyone in the mountains where we could be looking at a chance for some isolated thunderstorms. Friday and Saturday. Really, Friday I think is the best day in particular for everybody. And then on either side of that, those chances are going to be just a tad slimmer. Now, looking at the valley, no thunderstorms here. The main story here are the temperatures, right? Because we're seeing the temperatures drop for Thursday. That's the peak of the cooling trend. Here's where we could see the heat advisory for Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Then by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, we're seeing those temperatures begin to drop. Still rather warm on Tuesday in the upper 90s, but I do expect maybe some mid 90s by next Wednesday.